You are sick. We all are. It is a modern sickness of connectivity, a relentless, exhausting disease where your mind is chained to a glowing screen, begging for the approval of strangers. You are scattered. You are constantly accessible. Every hour of your day is invaded by opinions you did not ask for and crises you cannot control. Your potential is bleeding out through 1,000 tiny cuts of digital distraction. You feel like a ghost in your own life, haunting the background while everyone else takes center stage. But there is a cure, a violent, necessary cure. It requires vanishing. It requires the ghost shift. Rebuild your life in 6 months of absolute silence. This is not a vacation. It is a tactical withdrawal, a deliberate severance from the noise of the modern world. You must disappear to remember who you actually are. The world is a loud, desperate marketplace where everyone is screaming for your attention. To heal, you must walk out of the market and lock the iron gates behind you. Seneca wrote, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those who you are capable of improving. The process is a mutual one." But when the crowd is toxic, solitude is your only salvation. You must completely sever the cord of external input. No social media, no useless gatherings, no trivial gossip. You enter the blacksmith's forge. In the forge, gold is not purified by a gentle breeze. It is purified by intense, isolated, agonizing heat. The impurities are burned away in the solitary dark. When you mute the social marketplace, you stop diluting your energy. You stop performing for a crowd that does not care about you. You step into the fires of isolation, letting the heat burn away the weak, approval-seeking versions of yourself. Let the quiet forge harden you into something unbreakable. When you vanish, a terrifying psychological withdrawal begins. Your ego will scream. It will crave the cheap dopamine of a notification, a compliment, or a superficial interaction. You must kill this need for validation. Epictetus warned us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. You must be willing to be forgotten, to be seen as boring, to be entirely irrelevant to the daily gossip. Think of the construction of a massive skyscraper. Before it pierces the clouds, it must go deep into the earth. For months, workers dig downward into the mud and the dark, pouring concrete into a massive, unseen foundation. Nobody walks past a construction site and applauds the foundation. It is dirty, silent, invisible work, but without it, the tower collapses. Your 6 months of silence is the foundation. You were building in the dark. You kill the need for applause now so that your structure can withstand any storm later. Silence is not passive. It is an active, aggressive state of discipline. You must adopt a monastic routine. Wake up at the same hour. Train your body with relentless physical exertion. Read ancient texts that challenge your fragile modern perspectives. Work on your craft with a vicious, unbroken focus. Eat for fuel, not for comfort. This routine will feel like a prison at first, but it is actually a cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar doesn't merely sleep. It dissolves into a liquid chaos. It literally destroys itself in the absolute darkness, undergoing a violent, painful biological metamorphosis, only to reconstruct itself into something capable of flight. Your 6 months of absolute silence is your cocoon. You must let the old, distracted, weak version of yourself dissolve into nothing. You wage an internal war against your laziness and your excuses. You strip away the rot, atom by atom, and painstakingly rebuild your discipline. It hurts. It is supposed to hurt. Growth is the destruction of comfort. The hardest part of the ghost shift is the silence itself. Without the digital noise to distract you, you are finally alone with your own mind. And your mind is a terrifying place. All your buried regrets, your unhealed traumas, your insecurities, and your deepest fears will rise to the surface. You cannot numb them with a screen. You cannot run. You must face them in the inner crucible. Imagine a lone warrior standing in the center of an empty arena. The gates open, and his own demons walk out onto the sand. There is no audience to cheer for him. There is no escape door. He must draw his sword and fight his own shadows, one by one, until the arena is quiet again. You must become that warrior. You look at your flaws without flinching. You dissect your failures. You confront your own darkness until it no longer has power over you. In this absolute silence, you master the only enemy that ever truly mattered: yourself. 6 months have passed. The silence has done its work. The forge is cool. The foundation is set. The metamorphosis is complete. The demons in the arena have been slaughtered. Now you step back into the world. But you are not the person who left. You do not announce your return. You do not seek a parade. You simply appear. Think of a dormant volcano. For years it sits silent, ignored by the villagers below. But deep beneath the surface, immense pressure and unimaginable power have been building in the dark. When it finally erupts, it rearranges the entire landscape. Your grand return is the eruption. You speak less, but your words carry immense weight. You are completely detached from the opinions of others. You are deeply anchored in your own truth. The frantic, noisy world tries to pull you back into its drama, but you are untouchable. You are a force of nature. The world wants you distracted, weak, and addicted to the noise. Defy them. Step into the shadows. Embrace the silence. If you are ready to fortify your boundaries and start your own disappearance phase today, subscribe to Stoic Mindset. Build your inner sanctuary. Master your own mind. Let the ghost shift begin.